Hello guys, and welcome to another video on DJ Vlogs, and welcome back to the 154th episode of the Now Update. Today I've got quite a lot to talk about, so let's jump in with all the latest Now That's Cycle music news and updates. So first of all, let's go through all the upcoming albums that are due to be released. So we have Now Cycle Sizzling Summer, and of course that album was released on Friday, so the album is out now. If you would like to get yourself a copy of the album, you can do. There'll be links in the description down below if you're going to get yourself a copy. You can of course get yourself a copy from Amazon, HMV's website, and of course Now Music's online store. And as the album is out, you can of course get it from supermarkets and HMV stores, and of course you'll have to check if the local supermarket still has a CD section. So I'll go through all the upcoming albums that are due to be released. So you have Now Yearbook 1992, and that's due to be released this Friday on the 7th of July. Then we have Now That's Cycle 12-inch 80s 1980, and that is due to be released on the 14th of July. And then we have Now That's What I Call Music 115, and that is due to be released on the 28th of July. And of course that is due to be released along with Now That's What I Call Music 15, the re-released edition, also due to be released on the 28th of July. If you would like to pull yourself a copy of any of these albums, you can do. There will of course be links in the description down below if you'd like to pre-order. You can of course pre-order from Amazon, HMV's website, and of course Now Music's online store. And when these albums are out, you'll be able to get them in supermarkets and HMV stores. And again, for supermarkets, you'll have to check if the local supermarket still has a CD section, as not all of them do. If the local supermarket does have a CD section, then of course it should be selling all of these albums. So now let's have a look at all that soccer music albums in the official top 50 compilation album chart. This is where I look at all that soccer music albums that feature in the official top 50 compilation album chart, which is updated every Friday. So at number 9 we have Now That's Cycle Music 114. Now that is up one place this week. Last week that of course featured at number 10, but this week it is up one place to number 9, which I'm very glad is moving up the chart again. Of course that did for a few weeks ago drop down, in fact dropped down out of the top 10. I'm very glad to see it's making its way back up into the top 10. At 16 we have Now That's What I Call Legendary. At 26 we have Now That's What I Call 80s Alternative. At 29 we have Now Millennium 2000 to 2001. At 38 we have Now That's What I Call Massive Hits and Number Ones. At 45 we have Now That's What I Call Music 113. And at 47 we have Now That's What I Call a Massive 80s Party. So those are all that soccer music albums in the official top 50 compilation album chart, which is updated every Friday. So this week we have 7 Now albums in the top 50. We did of course have 8 last week, so we have unfortunately lost an album this week. But this week the album seems to be much better than they have been. The statistics for the albums in the top 50 this week are: we have 3 albums going down, and we have 4 albums going up. So it's much better than it has been. We do of course have the majority of the albums in the chart this week actually moving up rather than moving down. For the last few weeks most of the albums in the chart have actually unfortunately been moving down, but this week, as I said, we have more albums moving up than we do moving down, which is so good to see. I'm really glad we have more albums moving up this week. Of course over the next few weeks we've got a lot of albums due to be released, so we'll have a few more new entries in the chart. We will of course have a new entry of Now It's Cycle Sizzling Summer next week, and of course as I said, a lot more albums due to enter the chart. We can just hope more of these albums can start moving up over the next few weeks. So that is it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please make sure you give it a massive thumbs up. Be much appreciated if you do. Also make sure you subscribe in with notifications to be notified every time there's a new video, and make sure to follow my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Snapchat. That'll be just aside right there, and links to my social medias will be in the description down below, and make sure to follow up on all them. And guys, I'll see you soon for another YouTube video.